Televidente Bombinina, autorización de TimeOut. Ahora en TimeOut, tenemos un gran norte junto con nosotros. Un día pouco atleta nan, que ustedes den el promedio 10 nan mundial del ramo de deporte. Nos estamos refiriendo a Elliott Loonstra, que es el para taekwondo número 7 del mundo en el momento aquí. La que nos vemos en TimeOut cortica, así que ahora soy back, nos está conversando con Elliott Loonstra. Con Elliott Loonstra. Elliott, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, Claret. Thank
Hey,
you for having me.
Elliott, let me congratulate you because coming from an athlete that didn't know anything about para taekwondo to become in a few years, you're in the top 10. Tell us of that journey.
It's been a very, very long and difficult journey, but I'm glad I took it because it's changed my life for the better, most definitely. I enjoy the sport very, very much, and I would do it all over again if I had to start from the beginning. It was a very, very big honor to be able to represent the island the way I do, and it's even more so an honor to be part of the top 10 for Aruba in para taekwondo globally.
Who was the drive behind you?
Um, the drive behind me came from both my coach and my parents. My coach started with me and got me to get into the practice and everything, so he was definitely a large factor in helping me get where I am now. And for those moments where I wasn't sure about myself and I was like, maybe I'm not good enough for this, my family would get behind me and be like, yo, if you're really about it, then stick to it, and eventually you'll get better.
Now you're in the top 10 of the world in your age group, in your weight group, let's
Most
put it that way. Um, um, do you think if you can do this all over again, you will improve in some areas or you will do better in some areas?
Yes, most definitely. If I could start all over again with the knowledge I have now, there's so many ways I would have been able to improve compared to what I have now. Luckily, we get to do it now, and we get to focus on those. So even though I don't get to start from the beginning, I'll do my best to be as best as I can.
Where do you think you still have to improve? Because top 10 is not number one. You know that. You're in the top 10, but you're in the best of the world. That says everything. Where do you think you have to improve to become in the top 3 area?
Um, Good question. I think there's certain tactics that we can improve upon. There's definitely always the matter of the training, be it cardio or strength training. Those things can always be improved on, even when you think you're doing good. Um, I would say my mentality, but that's kind of been improving over the courses of all these tournaments. So I would say mostly just the practice of the fighting, and I just gotta keep fighting more and more and more until it becomes close to perfect, let's say.
Are you satisfied?
At the moment, yes, I am very, very satisfied. But like I like to tell people, it could always be better. Just because you're in a good position doesn't mean that that's where you got to stay. So we are always working and training to get even higher. We're hoping that within the next few tournaments, we'll be able to break the top five. And hopefully, if we keep it going in this pattern, we'll be able to hit the number one world ranking.
Where did you make your best improvements?
I would say defensive tactics, because in the past we had trouble with blocking certain kicks that we couldn't figure out how to exactly to defend them really really well. And recently we learned of a new technique, and I've been using it more and more often. And by using that, I've been able to block a lot more of the kicks and prevent the opponents from getting opponents points. I mean, so I believe defense especially has improved more so compared to the other aspects of my fighting.
You know, you're a role model. Let me put it that way, because it's not easy first to become a para taekwondo athlete, and secondly, to become in the top 10 of the world. I think in Aruba, I don't know, there are many athletes that are in the top 10 of the world right now, we can say. But do you will you do everything in your possibility to help somebody else to become as you are or better than yourselves?
Most definitely. I've said it many, many times. It's a great honor to be able to represent the island, but I don't want to keep being the only one that's representing the island. I want more people to come with me and join me in the tournaments, either in the taekwondo tournaments alongside with me, or in the larger competitions where they have different sports. I would love to see somebody else come and join me and stand beside me and represent the island internationally like that.
You know, you have a coach, Luciano. Practically, you both began at the same time. Like, let me put it in a soft way. You both had to improve, otherwise you wouldn't be here right now. I think he's something else also as a coach.
No, most definitely. He's very, very good at what he does. He's always analyzing. He's always looking at the rules. Whenever we have a new opponent that comes into the game of the taekwondo, he's always checking them out. I think a great advantage that we both have with each other is we work off each other. So if he notices that I'm not doing something good, he'll tell me, and if I notice something's off, I'll tell him. And via that self-analysis from both of us, we've been able to lift each other up and get to the place that we are now.
Televidente, la clase de timeout cortica sin aquí. Or nos been back, nos timas que campeón que nan. Este é top 10 na mundo, den su peso. Elliott Loonstra.
Welcome to Holland. Welcome to the country of the world's most famous cows. This is where your Frisian flag milk comes from. Taste our nature at its best. Frisian flag. Discover the goodness of milk from Holland.
Televidente, danke por quedando con nosotros junto con Elliott Loonstra. Elliott, something that I think that must be number one in what we say in Dutch in vette letters, discipline. How is that with you?
It's pretty good. I would be lying if I said there's moments where I want to like lay back and relax a little bit, but most definitely when it comes down to the training aspect or the going out to practice or making sure that I'm going as hard as I can during training, I think I'm pretty good at it. Over the years, it's definitely gotten better compared to the beginning. In the beginning, I was more like, okay, I'm not sure about it. But now as we got into the place that we are, it's definitely the discipline is very high. And even when I'm like, you know what, I really don't want to train today, I still go and train. And in the end, after I train, I say to myself, you know what, you didn't want to do it, but you feel good about it. So this is a positive.
Does the impairment that you have, does you have struggled with it right now still?
In certain ways, yes. In certain ways, no. The biggest struggles that I have with it is with the weight training. There's certain weights or gym machines that are a little difficult to use when you have a disability like mine.
Okay. Yes.
But fortunately, we've solved that by getting a prosthetic arm that allows me to hold on to, for example, the barbells or the machines that you have to push with both hands. So even though there's certain limitations, we've gone and found ways to get past those. So I think that we're doing good, even though you would say that with the limitation, it might be more difficult.
You have what I can hear from the years, with the years I know you, you have a very strong character.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Because without that character, you would never be in the place you are right now.
I think that the character developed because of the disability that I had. It got to a point where when I was younger, I had my difficulties. You know, I had trouble in school sometimes, maybe on the streets from people I don't know, and from having had to deal with that in my past, I've kind of gotten to a point where I was like, I can either sit there and be like, oh no, my disability, what am I going to do about it? Or I could just accept it and rock with it and go all out like I am now. And I think that's a very, very big and large part of where my character comes from.
That's why you're so big in this sport. From the beginning, your start was very, very tough. You know that.
Yes, most definitely. I've mostly started off in international tournaments against the top athletes as well. Not the top 10 right away, but the top athletes, the elite, you would say. And from there, basically, like in English, they say you get tossed in with the lions. I've
Yes.
won in with the lions. I fought against them, and now I'm a lion too.
Wow, 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 wow. What's the next in your agenda?
The next tournament that we're going to is in Rio de Janeiro. It's on the 24th of March, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're leaving either the 19th or 20th. It's for the Pan Am Open. 2 days before our tournament is the qualifications for Chile. Fortunately, with my ranking, I've already qualified for that. So the first tournament we don't have to worry about. So we're focused more on the Open to maintain the ranking or hopefully move up further.
Wow, wow. And you have to be in the first 6 to qualify directly for the Olympics, right? Paralympics.
Yes, sir. And I believe the person that's in 6th place right now, I'm about 15 to 20 points away from them. So hopefully within the next tournament or the next 2 tournaments, I'll be able to knock them out.
That's nice. Nice to hear that, because that's your character. That's I think the big force. Let me put it that way. The power you have, it's in you, man. What you obtain is what comes out from your heart, and you did that.
Most definitely.
And you did that.
Most definitely. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Tremendo. Televidente, wow. Un super atleta, com sua disabilidade, a demonstrar ao mundo que agora te ringe e não te disable, aí por assim entre comillas. Para sobre o qual ele presta, simplesmente brinca que melhoram do mundo em sua categoria. Choran, pouco atleta aqui no país, lá via orang aqui na está no top mundial de ramo de deporte que nós queremos. Esse aqui, onde excepciona que tem regla, que dá na perseverança, trabalho duro e estruturar, está caminho que está para hoje. Elliott, we must thank you very much. Keep on the good work you're doing. We are expecting a lot of you coming years, hermano.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure being on your show.
Televidente, que honorable. Den TimeOut, no super atleta de para taekwondo, Elliott Loonstra.